Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today my beautiful client Lisa has come in and she's had these nails on for 4 weeks and she has filed some of the length down herself. Didn't do a too bad job if I'm honest. So basically I have sanitized her hands and my hands, and now I'm coming in with my extra coarse bit from Supplies, and I'm just going over and removing the bulk, the old colour. Yes, we're doing that. The bulk, the old colour, going back down to that clear base from the last infill, and then I'll move on to the next step when we get there. So then we're going to come in and we're going to push back the cuticles. I'm going to do this on all 10 fingers. 10. Blah, blah, blah. Can't speak today. My tongue is tied.
A pig.
Oh yeah, pet pig. So we're going to push back all the cuticles. Then I'm going to come in with my diamond bit and just go around the growth channels and the cuticle area with this, making sure I'm doing a real good thorough job. Just getting right in there. Then when I'm done with this, I will come in and take a flat-headed diamond bit, and that is also from Supplies. I get all my efile bits from Supplies. The link is always in the description box, so go ahead and check them out if you want to see what bits they sell or what bits I use. They sell lots and lots and lots. So this is the diamond flathead bit, and this is what I use to get rid of lifting that has occurred on the nail. It is fantastic, but I absolutely recommend that you make sure you're qualified, you make sure you know what you're doing before you go ahead in with these flat bits. Just because they are, they're not soft, you can leave like rings of fire and things like that. So just really make sure you know what you're doing with these. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going behind that lift, so where you can see that like lighter area is where the lifting stops, and that the rest of the extension is still attached to the nail. So I'm just removing that with this bit, as you can see here. So when I've done all that, I will go in with a hand file, just blend in that existing product, making sure it's nice and flush to the natural nail, and etch over the nail plate, the new nail growth as well with that file. And then clean away all the dust and scrub the nails really, really well with CJP Prep Spray Plus. And then I come in with their dehydrator on all of the nails twice, and then 1 coat of Acid Bond Primer. And then I'm going to come in with my crystal glass and just build that clear layer on all of the nails. And this is so, yet again, when she comes back, we have that base to file back down to. So I'll just show you me doing that on 2 nails, keeping it nice and thin. And now I'm going to come in with our design. So the colour I'm using is magenta, and this is my favourite pink from CJP. It is just so beautiful, and not only is it like mega pigmented and beautiful, it is the easiest powder to work with as well, which is always a bonus, and it is a strength, but I do like to use a little less for building up. And I don't know why I'm a little bit anal really, because I always cap in clear anyway, just because I don't know just because I'm weird. But you don't need to cap these in clear, but I just add a little layer anyway. The brush I'm using is the Liz Guild. And then I'm going to move on to the ring finger. So I'm just literally taking a smaller bead and doing a thin layer on this nail. So just for the colour background, because we're going to go in with like a nice chunky glitter. So it just makes it a lot easier rather than having to try and fill that nail with glitter. And this glitter is the Arabian Princess from the Glitter Fairy, and she is a beaut. I love her so much. I've literally just ordered the male version to this, because there is a male version called Persian Prince, and he is just as beautiful. Has like shards in and pink dots and just iridescent. It's just beautiful. So I'm just placing it on the nail, making sure that it's got nice coverage on there. keeping it nice and neat and clean. And then the middle finger is just going to be, again, a full nail of magenta. So I'm just placing that bead on, using the tip of my brush to tuck it in and tap it away from that skin and the cuticle, and then just manipulating that product down with the belly of my brush, using pattern pulling motions, tucking it in that growth channel there on the side walls, and then just bringing it down the entire nail, trying to make the application as even and close to the true finish as we want it. And then I just screwed up the nail. Don't you hate that when you're brushing and then your brush kind of sticks and you end up completely ruining a perfect nail? It's so frustrating. And then on the index finger, again, we are going to do a layer of magenta. And then we're going to come in with Sugar Rush from CJP. And it's just like an iridescent gold. It's gorgeous. It's what I actually have on my nails as well. On a couple of my nails. Don't know if you can see that gold shimmer on that index finger. It gives off a kind of different effect behind each colour you put it on. Or on top of each colour you put it on. So I'm literally just taking my brush, taking a tiny, tiny, tiny bead of clear and dipping it into that glitter, and then just patting it on that and stroking it along that nail into that wet acrylic. So on the thumb, we just got magenta, and then I'm just going to run a trail of that Arabian Princess through that, just to give it a little bit extra, just to bring the design in. So just really working that bead down the nail. Obviously not trying to apply any bulk. I don't want big bulky nails, especially as they're so short. A lot of people struggle with short nails, and the key is to not use a lot of product, because we try and build apexes that aren't necessary when the nails are so short. When you have really, really long nails, you need a nice thick apex to keep that nail strong for the balancing issues, because you've got a lot of free edge. When you have really, really short nails, it's not necessary to have a massive apex, because there's not going to be any unbalanced issues because there's not much free edge. So they're just quite as strong. They're just like natural nails, they're strong. So you really, really don't need to go and apply more and more and more and more an apex and build it up and like you would have a long nail. It's just not necessary. So my little bit of advice is, when you're doing really short nails, just use less product. Don't be afraid. So yes, I'm coming back and just capping the nails with glitter. Applying a really thin layer on the magenta. Stroking that down. Going in and capping the one with the Sugar Rush. Tapping it into the cuticle, making sure it's all covered. Bringing it down the side walls. And then just stroking it down the rest of that nail into the centre. And then just pulling any rest off the end. And then the same thing on the thumb. So when I cap, I like to use my acrylic a little bit wetter, and I also try not to play with it as much. If you play with it a lot, you're going to end up with air bubbles. If you don't burp your brush before you pick up your beads, you're going to end up with air bubbles. So make sure you're always patting your brush flat into your monomer to remove the air bubbles, and then pick up your clear, and don't play with it a lot. So I didn't leave any filing in today simply because I left a lot of the prep in and the filing to begin with. So I have just gone and done my usual filing method, and then I've cleaned away all of the dust, and now I'm coming in with my tack-free top gloss from CJP as always. Like, I need to even say it anymore. I'm sure you all know exactly what I use when I use it. But if you're ever unsure of what I use, then always just check the description box because everything is listed in there. I'll then cure these nails in the lamp for 60 seconds for a full cure, and then leave them to cool for a minute before when she comes out the lamp, so that we don't smudge the top coat when we apply cuticle oil. And that's the finished video, guys. I really hope you've loved this video. I loved them and I love you, and I will see you all again in my next one. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.